Hey guys, good evening and thanks for joining. So morning we started about Google Cloud Security Services. Out of 35 we completed so far 11. Let's go and discuss about remaining 23 or 22. So next one is context aware access. Context aware access. So this context aware access, it is like a identity aware proxy. Nothing but it will act like a proxy tool or proxy server, but is based on the identity wise or based on the user wise. What is proxy? Proxy, it will act as a gateway or bridge in between our end users to the websites or applications. So that is in generic proxy name or proxy definition. Same way, even in our GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So what is our context aware access? It is like identity aware proxy. So now we have to go and we have to define the based on the cloud terminology point of the Google side. So it will act as a gateway or bridge in between identity of the users and also our applications or virtual machines. So that is called identity aware proxy. It will act as a gateway or bridge between our applications to our applications are virtual machines to identity of the end users. So that identity of the end users we can call it as a God access. So that is called proxy. In between our end users and also to the applications or virtual machines, proxy, it will act as a bridge or gateway or intermediate device or like a broker or agent. So, but don't use broker and agent at the time of the interview. Just for understanding purpose, I'm explaining about in simple words. Okay, but you can use these legitimate words like a gateway or bridge, something like that. You can use technical words. Okay, so that is called proxy. Now, once the end user is trying to access any of the websites or applications, so in case it is legitimate or illegitimate, it can go and it can validate based on the signature based or based on the machine learning capability or artificial intelligence capability. So according to that one and also according to the policies we configured, either it will allow the applications or websites or traffic allocation part, or maybe it will do the deny or maybe rejection part also. Otherwise, it will give the even alert notification for unknown category of the attacks. So that is called context aware access. So next one, 13 one. So issued workloads. So workloads like whatever workloads we are creating under the GCP, that one may be our virtual machines, that one may be our databases and servers and applications, everything. It can go and it can verify with our compliances along with the security controls for sensitive workloads. So that is called issued workloads. This one, if you want to compare with our Azure, we can call it as CWPP, Cloud Workload Protection Plan. So in case if it is Amazon, they don't have any option. So unified threat management. We discussed about endpoint threat management. So all the endpoints, that endpoints is nothing but our EC2 instances or maybe our servers or databases, what we are creating under the Amazon side. We have to go and we have to protect those endpoints like databases and servers and all the EC2 instances. So now we can use for that one EDR, DLP, encryption, file integrity monitoring, along with that one even complaints and also security controls. So that is called Azure Workload Protection Plan, otherwise Amazon Unified Threat Management, Endpoint Unified Threat Management. Okay, so we are comparing with other cloud service providers. So this is CWPP. So nothing but here Cloud Workload Protection Plan. So how we can define this one? So complaints and also security controls for sensitive workloads. So it will provide compliances related to GRC. Along with that one, it will provide security controls. What are the security controls? We have to provide the workloads, we have to provide EDR, we have to provide DLP, we have to provide file integrity monitoring, we have to provide encryption, we have to provide HDS, HAPS, extra. So that is called security controls. Okay, so that is about our issued workloads. So as I said, this one, if you're comparing with Azure CWPP, and if you're comparing that one with our Amazon, so unified endpoint threat management. So that is about issued workloads. So next one is Mandiant Consulting Services. So this one is acquired by already our this is workload control or issued workloads. So next one is Mandiant Consulting Service or Cybersecurity Consulting. So as I said already, when this service is defined initially, that time Google is depending on the Mandiant, like a partnership. So after observing all this partnership, what Google has done, instead of the depending on the third party, why can't we go and we can acquire that company? Okay. First of all, what is the cybersecurity consulting service? So that consulting service name, we can call it as Mandiant. So morning already I was discussing about Mandiant. So this one is acquired in this year only, around March or April. So for $6 billion. So this is mainly for the threat intelligence feeds. Now Mandiant security experts, part of the red team capability or penetration testing capability or security engineers. So on the daily basis, they can go and they can provide about what are the threats or vulnerabilities or risks are happening across the globe or across the worldwide. So for that one, they can create threat intelligence feeds. Now, in case customer or client is not sure about how to implement these services, they can provide and they can give advisor or consultation to the customers or clients. For that one, they will charge it. So that is called Mandiant Consulting Service. So now this is a part of the our Google itself. So how we can define this one? It will mitigate cyber threats and also reduce business risk with the help of Mandiant experts. Now we can call it as Google experts. Mitigate cyber threats and attacks and reduce the business risk by taking the help from Mandiant experts. Now, as I said, is already acquired by Google. So we can say Google engineers or Google experts. So that is about cyber consulting services. So it is the regular threat intelligence feeds. So that is about cybersecurity consulting on the our Google side. So even Amazon and Azure also, we do have the consulting services that is called premium support. For that one, we have to pay additional money. But here they are providing the separate cost for this one. That service we can call it as cybersecurity consulting. So next one is the network management. So name itself is suggesting we can go and we can do the managing of the network. So that network we can segregate based on the virtual private circuits. How we can create these subnets or network segments. So if the bigger segment or bigger local area network can be divided into smaller networks, we can call it as a LAN segmentation. For example, 10.0.0.0./24, that is the overall LAN network. So the 10.0.0.0/24, we can go and we can divide into all the trust zone as a 10.0.0.16/24. In the similar way, server LAN, we can go and we can divide that entire bigger network or LAN. We can divide for server LAN as a 10.0.0.32/24. In the similar way for untouched zone, wherever we need, we can go and we can do the micro segmentation. So converting the bigger network into smaller network. So that is called segmentation, you know already. But in this scenario, network segmentation. What do you mean network segmentation here? So bigger local area network can be divided into smaller segmentations. We can call it as LAN segmentations. So after LAN segmentation, we can go and we can do the network management. In our Google terminology, what we can call it as that subnetwork division or segmentation, virtual private circuits, that VPC. For every server LAN or every user LAN, every high availability LAN, we can go and we can create these virtual private circuits. So this is like VPC service controls. So VPC, you know, full form virtual private circuit. It will protect the sensitive data in Google Cloud. It will protect sensitive data in Google Cloud by doing VPC segmentation and management, or otherwise. So our LAN segment, network segmentation or management. After doing the segmentation, what we have to do, we can go and we can manage all those networks as a part of the subnetting. So that is called our network management. So next one, so 16th one, give me 1 second, I will drink a water, give me 1 second. Sorry guys, apologies. So next one is intrusion detection. So this intrusion detection we can call IDS. So already you know what is IDS in the Google Cloud, and they have one more cloud IDS also. So this is in generic IDS. What is intrusion detection? So it is like IDS intrusion detection system. So once the abnormal or malicious or suspicious or illegitimate activity is doing by threat actors or attackers or intruders or hackers in the Google Cloud, so whatever traffic is going on, so it will go on, it will throw the monitoring of the threats or vulnerabilities or detecting of threats or vulnerabilities. So that is called as IDS. Nothing but it will not block anything, just only monitoring and identification and also detecting. So that is called our intrusion detection. So this one we can represent using our cloud IDS because it's a part of the Google Cloud. Any abnormal or suspicious or malicious activity, it's happening in the Google Cloud, IDS will detect the incidents, but it will not block it. So that is called intrusion detection system or cloud IDS. So next one is malicious URL detection. So couple of topics already we discussed. That is the reason I'm not in depth. I'm not explaining. Okay, so because already these IDS, IPS, HADS, HAPS, NADS, NAPS, WIDS, WAIPS, several times in the class we discussed. So and also I explained about even HADS, HAPS, overall project lifecycle management. Along with that one, network IDS and network IPS. Only missing part is wireless part. That one I'm going to explain in the future. Okay, so malicious URL detection. So what is malicious URL detection? It will do. So this one we can call web risk. That service name we can call it as a web risk. So once the end user is trying to access any URL links, our applications or websites are hosted in the our cloud environment of the Google, then malicious URL detection as a part of the web risk, it will go and it will do the blocking of those websites in case it's a illegitimate or known category of the signature. Otherwise, in case it's a legitimate, then it will allow that access. So that is called malicious URL detection or web risk category. So web risk, so meaning that websites, whatever risk it is there, those things it can identify. So name itself, it is suggesting to us as a part of the either it will allow or either it will block, like URL filtering under the firewall side. So detecting malicious URLs on our websites and also it will go and it will do the blocking of those websites. In case it's a malicious one, in case it's a legitimate one, it will block it. Detecting malicious URL links in case the end user is accessing based on signature based or ML and AI. Along with that, even it will do blocking or denying. So that is called malicious URL detection or web risk. Okay, so that is our 17th service category. So next one is risk manager. That risk manager, we can call it as our risk reporting management. Risk reporting management. So is nothing but here risk manager. So what this risk management or risk reporting manager it will do? So in case any issues identified in the endpoint or our servers and databases and applications or instances or virtual machines, so it will do the evaluation of the organization security posture and also whatever connected with the all these services or resources, it can do the risk identification part. And also additionally, it will provide the priority of the risk also. So that is the risk measure functionality. Assessing of the risk based on the content and also based on the context. And after that, it will do the identification of the risk. And after that, it will do the analyzing of the risk. And later we can go and we can do the prioritizing of the risk. This is called risk management framework. In-depth analysis, I'm going to provide under the NAST framework 800F37 under GRC, part of the information security compliances. That is separate domain. Not only that one, even after prioritizing the risk also, how the risk should be mitigated, whether should be accepted or whether should be transferred, whether we can avoid it or we can go and we can implement controls. For example, you can go and you can think about our life risk. Why we are taking the insurance policies related to life and health insurance policies? What is the reason behind this one? We are not sure about the risk when it is going to come because it's a future, right? So now that risk, what these risk insurance companies or health insurance companies will do, so we have to accept the risk. Meaning here, I don't want to, okay, so do the policies. It's okay for me. I have sufficient money is there. I don't want to, okay, so keep any insurance policies. Okay, so that is one thing. I'm nothing but I'm accepting my risk. Okay. So second thing, risk is transferred. How the risk should be transferred? Any other insurance company, like a third party, anything it's going to happen anytime. So that's risk we are going to third party it will pay to us. That is called risk transfer. So next one, risk mitigated. Nothing but we can go and we can implement sufficient controls. So based on the risk analysis point of view. And after that, risk should be accepted. I will accept the risk and I can go and I can implement all those security controls as well. So this is the way there are 4 different types of techniques will fall under the risk mitigation, how we can go and we can implement it. In this scenario, risk reporting management, mainly it will focus on the transferring of the risk to third party as a part of insurance companies. So that is called risk manager. It is not risk accepted It's not risk avoided. It is not risk mitigated. It's a complete risk transfer to third party company. Those third parties companies we can call insurance companies. Okay. You can go and you can compare with our regular day-to-day life. It will do evaluation of the organization security posture. So with insurance partners. So that is about risk manager. In-depth analysis, as I said, I will go and I will explain about under the risk management. We have separate session under the GRC. Okay, next one is access management. So access management, it will act as a access connected to manager, access connect to manager. In case any end user, they are trying to access our access manager, it will provide the configuring of the access levels based on the policies and also based on the request. Manager. What manager it will do? Configuring, implementation, administration based on the service levels, whether you are a part of the L1 or L2 or L3, what is the role-based access control or what is the least privilege access control. We can go and we can implement. Already we discussed part of the identity and access management, almost equals to that one only, but it will manage all those configurations. Manager, managing of, it is, otherwise we can call it access manager, can be used configuring access levels based on least privilege and based on the request. Least privilege and based on the request. So that is called as our access management. So next one is anti-money laundering using artificial intelligence. Anti-money laundering. This one you can ignore it. This is not required that much anyways. So anti-money laundering. So what this one, same thing, anti-money laundering only, but it is based on the our artificial intelligence. Anti-money laundering based on artificial intelligence. AI means artificial intelligence here. What exactly it will do? It will detect suspicious potential threats and also money laundering across the GCP resources using the artificial intelligence. So that is the importance of the anti-money laundering. Money laundering, it's like a fraud kind of thing, or suspicious activity can be done by our attackers. So now anti-monitoring, we are doing the prevention part. So detection part. So detect it will, okay, suspicious potentially money laundering on GCP along with our artificial intelligence. So that is called anti-money laundering based on the artificial intelligence. Okay. For example, any attacker is trying to compromise our accounts and is abusing and also is doing the blackmailing or is asking the couple of monies in that scenario. Anti-money laundering for that fraud, whatever attacker wants to do it, it can go and it can detect and also it can block that one. So that is called anti-money laundering based on the artificial intelligence. It will detect suspicious activity, potential money laundering, suspicious activity of potential money laundering using GCP cloud artificial intelligence. So going forward for fraud also, nowadays already companies are recruiting the fraud, but that fraud is the finance fraud. Whatever we are getting the regular calls from the banking sector, so that one is our fraud related to whether legitimate user has transferred the money or legitimate user on behalf of the end user attacker has done, right? So those things will fall under our, okay, those things will fall under our fraud, finance fraud. but this fraud is belongs to security fraud. Okay. So next one is a hybrid and also multi-cloud technology. Hybrid and multi-cloud technology. So hybrid and multi-cloud technology meaning here. So this service, it can be used for the even multi-cloud environment. For example, in our organization, we are using more than one services. In that scenario, this option, it will helpful for us to identify about multi-cloud environment. Okay. It can be used or it can be enabled to support multi-cloud environment. What is mean by this one? For example, Google Chronicle. Morning already I discussed this one. What do you mean a multi-cloud environment? So Azure Sentinel, take one of the example, and also take one of the examples of our GCP Chronicle. So as I said morning also, Azure Sentinel and also our GCP Chronicle, not only we are integrating the logs of the dedicated to Azure or dedicated to Google, but also we can integrate it our Amazon logs to Azure or GCP logs to Azure in case we are using Azure Sentinel. Along with that one, even it integrate our on-premise logs also. Same thing for Google Chronicle also. Not only we are integrating Google Cloud related resource related logs, but also even for multi-cloud environment related logs like Azure or Amazon or Alibaba or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, even our on-premise logs also. So that one we can call it a multi-cloud environment. For that one, what Google has done, it is create one of the security feature or service. That security feature service we can call it as hybrid and also multi-cloud technology. Okay. Google is created multi-cloud service to support multiple cloud service providers. Okay, not only for dedicated to Google Cloud. So what are the different types of cloud service providers we do have? You know already. So that one I'm not going to explain, like Amazon or GCP or Oracle or Alibaba or IBM or HP or Cloud AA. These are all the different types of. So right now, too much of the market capturing of the cloud service providers from the business point of view. So next one is private CA management. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on a minute, 1 second. Sorry, guys, apologies. Private CA management. So what is private CA management? So if you want to purchase any SLTLS certificate for the publicly exposed domains or internet facing domains, already we discussed about SLTLS certificate for the internal applications and also external applications. For internal applications, we can use self-signed certificate. And for the purchase CS, internet applications or internet facing applications, we can go and we can use the purchase CS certificate from the different types of the certificate authority vendors like our VeriSign or GoDaddy or Google Trust Services or DigiSet or RHLIDM. There are so many vendors are available in the market. Already that one we discussed. Now, what is private CA management under the Google side? Instead of the depending on the our third party, why can't we go and we can generate the certificate from our side so that we can reduce the our so cost of the certificate authority. For that one, they created already Google company. So that service name we can call it as GTS. What is GTS full form here? Google Trust Services. Okay. So for that one, we no need to depending on any other third party. Now onwards, directly, so Google itself, so they can go and they can use that service for the generate the certificate, and that generate of the certificate we can go and we can deploy in the internet facing applications or so publicly facing applications. So that is the importance of the private CA management. And also not only just about the so configuring the certificates or deploying the certificate, and even we can go and we can do the managing of the those certificates also. Certificate authority service. What this certificate authority service it will do, or private CA management it will do, it can be used generate, deploy, and manage SSL TLS certificates are going to implement for applications. Even it can monitor also when the certificate is going to expire, and what is the expiry date, and what is the rotation of the certificate. Even it can do the monitoring also. I will add one more here. So here generate, deploy, manage, and monitor. So that service name we can call it GTS, Google Trust Service. So where you have seen this one, we have seen under gmail.com, and also we have seen under the google.com for these two. So next one is firewall service. So what this firewall service it will do? So firewall service already it's like a firewall, cloud firewall. So this cloud firewall can monitor several times discussed in the class, same thing. It is equivalent to Azure firewall or Amazon firewall or our next generation firewall or UTM or normal firewall. Whatever the traffic is entering from external to internal or internal to external based on the trust or DMZ or untrust. So that is inbound traffic or outbound traffic according to the policies or rules configured. Either it will allow the traffic or maybe it will block the traffic, or either it will do the alerting of the traffic also. So that is the importance of our firewall service under the Google Cloud Platform or GCP, otherwise Cloud Firewall. So how we can define this one now? It will monitor inbound traffic and also outbound traffic. Under Google Cloud, based on the policies configured, either it will allow the traffic or block the traffic. So based on the inbound rules and also based on the outbound rules. Okay, that is called Cloud Firewall. If we are comparing this service with our Azure and also GCP, we can call it as this one, Azure Firewall and also Amazon Firewall. Okay. So next one is confidential VM. So that is 23rd service. Confidential VM. So what is confidential VM? So it's a confidential computing part. So computing meaning a resource allocation. That resource allocation, we can go and we can do the computing either virtual machines or servers and databases and applications related to web servers and everything, right? So that is confidential computing. So when I explained about cloud computing architecture diagram, that time I have shown about what the computing architecture diagram looks like and what is meant by exactly hosted services under the cloud computing in case any cloud service provider is providing virtual space to the customer or client, right? So those places I explained about cloud computing. So now here confidential computing, it can be used encrypting data in use and also data at rest for confidential VMs. What are VMs we are configuring as a part of the either server or database or any virtual machine. So that one we can go and we can do the data at rest encryption for all these virtual machines or servers and databases. In this one data at transit level of the encryption also. Nothing but whoever is trying to access those VMs to fetch the data or to transfer the data. Those places also we can use our confidential VMs. Encrypt data in use and also data at rest for the confidential VMs. It can be used encrypting of the data for VMs in data at rest and also data at transit. So what is the data in rest for the VM confidential now? Disk encryption or D drive or C drive or E drive or overall entire voice encryption. Obviously, we'll do overall entire voice encryption. So this one we discussed under the our endpoint protection or endpoint security. Okay. In a similar way, what is data at transit level of the encryption? So for example, as a Windows administrator or Linux administrator or web server administrator or maybe our any administrator, I wants to access the data or I want to upload the data, I want to back up the data. For that one, we are transferring the data from X to Y location or we are taking to any other server. So in that scenario, whatever data we are transferring, for that one, we have to provide the encryption. So that is called our data at transit level of the encryption. For that one, we have to go and we have to implement TLS, transport layer security, either 1.2 or 1.3, and 1.4 is going to come very soon. So that is about our confidential VM. So next one. So malware intelligence. So what Google has done for the malware intelligence side, so they integrate with virustotal.com. What is VT.com? VT is like an open source. So we can use for anyone and we can integrate the virustotal.com also. Nowadays, whatever that EDR tool or XDR tool or MDR tools, even SIM tools also, we are integrating with Mitre attack framework and we are integrating with google.com. We are integrating with threat intelligence feeds. We are integrating with even tactics and techniques and procedures. Even for other threat intelligence feeds also. If we are doing this one, we no need to open every time virus.com. We no need to go and check with the manual way, Mitre attack or Mitre attack framework to verify what are the tactics and techniques and procedure the attacker used to compromise any of the our system. Okay, so once you are clicking on that one, automatically it will redirect to virus.com and it will give the verdict whether it is legitimate or illegitimate. In the similar way, so whatever attack is appearing, if I integrate Mitre attack framework, this one I can show under the Sophos area so that will come to know about how to integrate and what to integrate. Okay. I think even in the Azure Sentinel yesterday, I was showing that once Deepak is launched about Azure Sentinel, once everything is created, the resource group and also Azure Sentinel, on the left hand side, we have seen there are 4 different types of options. One of the option name is called general and second one is called as configuration management. Third one is called content management and fourth one is called threat management. Under the configuration management, sorry, not configuration management, under threat management, we have seen Mitre attack framework. What is mean by this one now? Azure is integrated already. Azure Sentinel is integrated to Mitre attack framework. Now, any attacks are happening through Azure Sentinel SIM tool. So based on these tactics and techniques and procedure, attacker, whenever he is trying to do hacking, it will give whatever tactic is out of 14 and what the technique attacker is used and what the recommendation solution for that one. Everything it can be provided. Same way, how we are integrating VT.com and also Mitre attack framework and google.com to EDR tool and XDR tool and MDR tool and SIM tools. Same way, even we can integrate malware intelligence feed. So it's like a virustotal.com to our Google Cloud services to detect about all malware category of the attacks. Okay. So virustotal.com integrated to our Google Cloud services. So why it will do? It will identify the malware category of the attacks. It will identify and it will provide malware category of the attacks. In case the hash value are legitimate, so in case the hash value is legitimate, there is no malware infection. In case hash value is illegitimate, then obviously it's a malware category of the attack. Okay. What is the hash value? Every file we can represent through digital representation. That digital representation of the file, combination of the both characters and numbers, we can call it a hash value. So next one is attack monitoring. So what this attack monitoring it will do, it will same thing, mandiant only. It will do the mandiant attack surface management. It is depending on the threat intelligence feeds. So already we discussed about cybersecurity experts. So 14th one, cybersecurity consulting and mandiant consulting service. Here we are taking the suggestion or advice or consultancy from the Google experts or mandiant experts. Whenever any new category of the attacks are happening, they will give the help to us. Now, here attack monitoring, same thing, it will provide about what is the attack surface and attack vector and what is the managing of those risks. So that is part of the attack monitoring. So this one we are depending on the mandiant attack surface management. So what exactly it will do? It will do the discovery of the monitoring and also management of the attacker point of view. Okay, based on the threat intelligence feeds. Based on the threat intelligence feeds. Based on the threat intelligence feeds, it will identify internet discovery of the threats, vulnerabilities, and it will manage all these threats. So that is called attack monitoring. Okay. So that is the reason it is integrated to our mandiant consulting services or mandiant threat intelligence feeds. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, lot of disturbance for today. Sorry, apologies. I am extremely sorry from bottom of my heart. So next one is security assessment. So what is the security assessment it will do? So it will do once again depending on the our mandiant security validation only. So meaning here we are integrating the threat intelligence feeds based on the our regular news or updates and threats. So vulnerabilities list. So it will provide about assessing of that risk. What is the business impact analysis existing part of the risk management? Okay. So it is based on the our business impact analysis and risk management side. Along with that one, what is the risk is involved to our organization point of view? So can really that feed or malicious IP or malicious hash value or malicious domain and malicious URL link, it is impacting whatever it is there in the news or it was there in the news. In case it was there in the news, how much money is we are going to lose it in case something is getting compromised. So that business impact analysis based on the people management along with the or financial management also we can go and we can verify whether it is availability issue or whether it is a risk is existing to our organization side. So that is the assessment we have to do. This assessment also we can call it as business impact assessment or otherwise risk assessment. So mandiant security validation. So based on the threat intelligence feeds are getting from mandiant, this service will help us to assess the risk and BIA. What is this BIA? Business impact analysis. BIA, business impact analysis. And RMF, risk management framework. RM means risk management. So that is the importance of the security assessment. Okay, so next one is our Google Active Directory. So this one already you know why we can use the Active Directory. It will do the directory of the all the user information, system informations, or virtual machines, whatever we are configuring those information. Along with the mapping of the IP address also we can see. And why we have to create this one. So whenever any attack it's going to happen, we can go and we can trace it easily. Okay. So that's why all the times for all the security tools, we can go and we can integrate our Active Directory to any of the security tool as the implementation point of view. Otherwise, if you don't integrate this one, what will happen? Once the alert is triggered, if you don't have the sufficient information because of the parsing related issues, or because of the raw logs related issues, or maybe because of the couple of problems related to automatic population in the security instant notification side. So it's difficult to identify what is the username or computer name or host name, and what the location, where is the location, and whose IP address is belongs to that user. So all these things are difficult. So that's why you have to integrate Cloud Active Directory. Anything, not only this one, even what we discussed under the on-premise Active Directory, Amazon Active Directory, even Microsoft Entra ID. It's an Active Directory service. It can be used to integrate virtual machines with directory of the service, and can support mapping of virtual machines along with IP. Not only virtual machines, even computing services also, or resources also. So that is about Google Active Directory. So next service, open source service 28th. So what is open source service? So it can be used mainly for the third party software. What is this third party software? We discussed already SBOM. So where we discussed this SBOM and also third party software or open source software under the application development. Under the application development and product development and mobile development, under the development phase, part of the SDLC life cycle. What is SDLC life cycle? Software development life cycle. Under the software development life cycle, we do have the 4 different types of phases like requirement, design, development, and testing phase and release phase, right? So especially in the development phase or in the programming phase, what are these developers, they are developing the code, they can use either open source software or commercial software. So that one we can also call libraries and packages. So now this open source service, it can be used mainly which software we can go and we can use, and which software is a legitimate and which software is illegitimate, which one is malicious and which one is non-malicious, and which one is legally accepted and which one is non-legally accepted. So this is the way how it will provide about the overall compatibility point of view. So that it will reduce our attack vector in case you are using the legitimate or legally acceptable software. Because vendor will ask, not vendor, sorry, customer will ask. For example, you're developing one of the healthcare product, like a radiology product, or you are developing one of the mobile product, or you are developing one of the electrical product, you are developing one of the electronic product or automobile product. In that scenario, whoever customer is purchasing these products. Now they will ask like, what are the different types of third-party softwares used for the product development side, right? So then he can ask, what is the software name, whether what is the version of the software, whether legal it is accepted or not. So those verifications we can go and we can send, then he can validate. Why? Because customer will not trust any illegal accepted software. Maybe that illegal software attacker can go and can upload it into the maybe part of the GitHub or maybe any other open source tools. We are downloading that one and we are installing that software in our product or application or mobile. Obviously, in future, we do have the persistence category of the attacks. Attacker will try to do the exploitation of that attack and he will try to compromise our customers or clients. For example, when I'm working on X company, one of the army company for US based. So our customers in one of the weekly meeting, he said like, what are the different third party softwares you are using for your product development side? We are using 461 different types of third party softwares. Now they asked about one of the questions in our weekly meeting. They said like, out of all these 461 softwares, please provide out software version, whether it is open source or commercial, and finally whether it is legally or illegal software. Now I have done the overall manual analysis. Within a week, I completed that report. Now our customer is validated part of the US Army. Then they said like, okay, it's fine, but couple of illegal softwares we do have. Then what we have done within current release of the product, whatever we are going to develop, we are fixing that issue. So this is the way how we can use that open source service or software. Okay. If you know about SDLC lifecycle, then it is easy for you. Issued open source software. This service can be used to identify illegal third-party software, TPS, illegal TPS software, or legally accepted software, or malicious software or not. So that is the importance of open source service. This one, if you want to represent in our security terminology in our Azure and Amazon, we can call SBOM, supply bill of materials. I already discussed this one under the development part of the SDLC lifecycle. Hope you remember. Hardened VMS, virtual machine, sorry. Hardened VMS, virtual machines. So this is based on the CS hardening benchmark. Whatever virtual machines we are creating under the Google Cloud environment, so we have to go and we have to implement the hardening benchmark. Either it is a CAS hardening benchmark, whether it is level 1 or level 2 controls, and also Department of the Defense stick compliances. So these two compliances we have to implement. But very, very popular hardening benchmark all over the worldwide, you know very well, it's a CS hardening benchmark. Okay. So this service can be used harden the VM using either VMs using either CAS benchmark or DOD. So what is DOD? Department of Security Technical Information Management Controls, stick compliances. So this is the importance basically. So this one is hardened image only. There is nothing for that one. It's like a hardened image. In case the whatever CS hardening images or department stick compliance images or audit is failed, we discussed all 225 compliances plus for Windows. For Linux also 220 plus compliances. Whatever failed one we are getting under the vulnerability report, we have to generate that report and we have to inform to our Windows team or Linux team so that they can go and they can implement or they will do the configuration why it is failed and why it is passed. Passed one anyway they can ignore it, even we can ignore it. So only failed one audit whatever we are getting that report, they can go and they can configure it. Okay. So next one is managed security services or defense services. So managed defense services, it's for multiple clients or it's like MDR. What is MDR? Managed detection response. So what is EDR? Endpoint detection response. On the under the endpoint side or host level, any malware category of the attacks are going to happen. Our EDR tool based on the signature and based on the machine learning and based on the baseline or heuristic approach, sandboxing environment, hash value method, either it will block or quarantine or alert or it will detect those malware category of the attacks. That is EDR. What is traditional antivirus? Traditional antivirus, it will not support for the machine learning or artificial intelligence or heuristic approach. That is the drawback of the traditional antivirus. Then what is XDR? Not only on the host level of the malware identification, detection, monitoring and blocking and quarantine and preventing, but also through network level malware and also through our application side, drive-by downloads of the malwares also, it can go and it will detect and quarantine, monitor, and also it will block those malware category of the attacks. That is called extended detection response. Finally, MDR. So MDR is managed detection response. So under this is like advanced version of the same tool. Not only just identifying of the alert, monitoring of the alert, log analysis, log processing, log integration, so log identification and security incident investigation, even it will take care of the responsing of that alert also. Nothing but blocking also. That one official, if you want to say this one, we can say SOAR capability, security orchestration automated response. That one, it's like managed detection response. It is advanced version of SIM tool. Once the alert is triggered in the SIM tool, because of the MDR functionality, not only it will detect or alert incident, but also we can do blocking of the malicious content. We can do blocking of the malicious content or incident response. What does it mean by instant response? Instant response is like a L2, true positive, something got compromised. And also even L3 also we can represent like threat hunting, instant response also, like a senior security analyst. He will take care of the only true positive, something got compromised. Okay. It depends on the organization also. Anyways, tomorrow onwards, we are going to start about our cybersecurity in-depth analysis. I'm going to explain the tomorrow class. So next one is security course. And I forgot one more thing. NDR also we do have. NDR equals to network detection response. In the network level, so any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activities happening, similar to like firewall and proxy, it will do the detection, mitigation, blocking, and also even eradication also. Nothing but response also it will be taken care. That is NDR. But is based on the advanced technology, not like next generation firewall, not like proxy. Security course. Security course, they are depending on the Mandiant Academy. So what is the course training if you want to get into all these cloud security services? So as I said, recently Mandiant is acquired by Google. Now on behalf of the Google company, Mandiant will provide services training with $2,500 or $5,000 or $10,000 according to whatever services or security services we are going to use it. By these vendors trainings are very expensive. When I was working on Dubai, so for Palo Alto training for 5 days in knowledge base Oasis, they took approximate $2,500 for 5 days training, only for Palo Alto, only for one firewall. Okay. Vendor training is always expensive. Google security training, security services training, provided by Mandiant Academy. Now Mandiant is a part of Google. What is the other Mandiant functionality it will do? What is the other functionality of Mandiant? Only Academy? Nothing but trainings functionality only? What else it will do? We discussed already 3-4 times this Mandiant. What are other functionalities? So threat intelligence speeds, regular updates. That is one thing. Security consultancy. If any customer needs any help or support in that scenario, Google on behalf of the Mandiant, it will provide the consultancy also to those customers, right? Security assessment using the Mandiant experts or Google experts. Okay. So next one is transparency management. So which transparency management? This is access transparency management. Transparency management. So which transparency management? This one, access transparency. So cloud will provide visibility through real-time logs. How the access can be accessed related to monitoring and also analysis point of view. So through logs using cloud IAM logs, we can verify our access transparency. So that is about our transparency management. Only for access side. I'm not explaining about our VM logs or our application logs or database logs. So only it's like a cloud trial. If you're comparing, sorry, not cloud trial, cloud watch. If you're comparing these services with our Amazon, then we can call it this services is cloud trial. Sorry, cloud watch. Sorry. So next one is our incident response services. Sorry, 33. Incident response services. So nothing but incident response. Once that this incident is triggered, incident response. What is mean by this one? Even Google Cloud or Google support team or technical support team, what they will do in case we are not able to take care of the something got compromised, like a true positive. So even though we do have the L1 team and L2 team and L3 team, we are not able to take care of all those instant investigation or forensic analysis, why it is got compromised, where it is got compromised, how it is got compromised, and so on. We can go and we can take the our tech support from the Google Cloud. Nothing but Google Cloud also they have the TAC engineers. What is my TAC here? Technical Assistance Center Engineering team. They can support to us. Okay. So if you don't want any consulting service from operational support from the Wipro or TCS or Infosys or any other company, even Google also will recruit operational support team. That one we can call TAC engineers. Once the security incident is got compromised under the customer or client environment, This team, they will come as online and they will help us to fix those issues. That is called instant response services. Google is providing true positive, not only true positive, even for false positive, most of the cases true positive. Something got compromised related to true positive. Google tech engineers or support engineers will provide the instant response. Nothing but overall entire preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, lessons learned, and post-mortem report, even root cause analysis, why, where, when, how it is got compromised under the Google Cloud resources, what we deployed under the Google Cloud environment, and finally it will provide the root cause analysis also. So next one is threat monitoring. Threat monitoring. So these are all threat detection response, lost services. So what attacks or threats or vulnerabilities are going on? These not mandate. Yes, it is depending on mandate only. Yeah. So previously already we discussed threat intelligence feeds. So threat monitoring, it is depending on our mandate threat policy management or digital policy management, and it will give the what is proactive approach we can go and we can block those threats. Mandate threat digital, mandate threat digital management services can be used. Reduce the attack vector. So this one I will provide here. This service can be used. Reduce the attack vector or attack complexity based on proactive threat hunting and monitoring capability along with blocking of malicious IPs, domain names, URL links, and hash values. So that is the threat monitoring services under the Google. Finally, last one, policy management. So same thing, policy management only. So here policy is nothing but rules we have to define for all these virtual machines and everything. It's a subset of the identity and access management. Policy is nothing but privilege or grants or permission or access. So that is a subset of our identity and access management. So what we created under the Google Cloud Identity and Access Management, it can provide based on the user access control related to Google resources. Those resources are maybe our virtual machines or servers and databases and applications. So policy management is policy management only. Otherwise, in simple words, if I want to explain this one, access management. It is a subset of identity and access management, and it can be used. What type of service, not service, privilege or access can be provided to Google Cloud resources like virtual machines, servers, databases, accounts, applications, storage devices, extra. So that is called access management or policy management. Okay. So this based on least privilege also we have to implement. It's a combination of not only IAM along with PAM, IAM and PAM. Okay. So these are all the services will fall under our Google Cloud services. Okay. So out of all these, which one is important to us? Security operation platform, nothing but that is Google Chronicle. Secret manager, it will store about all the keys. Identity and access management. Unified endpoint identity management. This is like a SOC. Anyway, it's covered under the SOC SecOps itself. Security key. Web application firewall. Key vault. Storing of the keys, renewal of the keys, all those. Identity and access management. Yeah, this one also. Threat visibility, control aware access. Yeah, threat intelligence feeds also. I can provide this one as well. Identity aware proxy, that's not required. Cloud workload protection platform. Cybersecurity consulting, anyway, this is our ticket rising, just you can ignore. Network management also you can ignore. This one will be taken care by our network engineers. Intrusion detection system. So malicious URL detection. Access management. Private CA management. This is not that much important. I'm ignoring this one also. Firewall service. Malware intelligence. Active Directory. Hardened VMs. Managed defense service. It's a part of the SOC itself. Policy management. Yeah. So these are the couple of services are important under the our overall Google security services. One missing part. Anyone guess it? Which one is missed out? One service is missed out. Anyone? If you're comparing Amazon, if you're comparing Azure, and if you're comparing GCP, which one is missed out? You can compare all these services: endpoint, network, application, product, even what we discussed. Yeah, these are all infrastructure, VM. Which one is missed out? In the Google side, which one is missed out? As per network architecture diagram also you can think. As per network architecture diagram also you can think. Which security solution is missed out?
Point.
Endpoint is there already, part of the endpoint management. Workload protection plan, CWPP.
Information security, sir.
Someone said already.
Proxy.
Proxy is there already. Aware proxy.
EDR and XDR.
GRC.
No, GRC anyway is a part of the our separate one. We can go and we can define. That is security posture management. We are already making under the CWPP, right? Cloud workload protection plan, based on the business verticals. Complaints along with the CWPP.
DOS.
Yes, please.
DOS.
DOS. Yes. It's a DOS, denial of service attacks, and also DDoS, distributed denial of service protection. So it is their part of our Azure DDoS protection, AWS Shield also. but it did not define under the any of the service category. Now what Google is doing? So Google is doing under the our firewall itself. They did not create any of the dedicated service for the DOS protection. Appreciate whoever said. Okay. So DOS and DDoS, anyway, that is a part of the firewall itself. Okay. So once it complaints is a part of the CWPP, Cloud Workload Protection Plan also. And one more thing, last one I want to explain, part of the Wiz. Google is acquired. Wiz is a company. It's a Japan-based company. So 5 developers, they created this platform in the Japan. And this overall revenue of the company only $800 million, I think so. But recently, Wiz is acquired this Google. Google company is acquired Wiz as our company. I mean, overall they merged it. Wiz and also Google. Wiz is providing total 12 services. What are those 12 services? DevSecOps. Next one, CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. DSPM, Data Security Posture Management. KSPM, Kubernetes Security Posture Management. CIEM, Cloud Identity Entitlement Management. And GRC, that one we can say compliances. So next one is the Cloud Workload Protection Plan, CWPP, runtime protection. So next one more SBOM, supply bill of materials, machine learning and artificial intelligence security. How many altogether? 10. Yes. One more is CDR, container detection response. And one more governance, I think so. I forgot one more. Total 12 security solutions will fall under the Wiz. Why I brought this topic now? In future, there are so many vacancies are going to come for the dedicated to Wiz, and Wiz is not supporting. Sorry, not only supporting to our Google Cloud, even though it is acquired, but it is supporting for even multi-cloud environment. So what is mean by this one? This is what I am saying. Cloud security posture management, unified vulnerability management. This is the missing part. Yeah. Vulnerability management and IAC, infrastructure as a code. Okay. Just for your information, only this one. So by use case, CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management, Vulnerability Management, Content and Kubernetes Security, KSPM, Infrastructure as a Code Scanning, CIM, Cloud Infrastructure Entitlement Management, DSPM, Data Security Posture Management, CWPP, Cloud Workload Protection Plan, Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence Security, SBOM, Supply Chain Security or Supply Bill of Materials, Cloud Detection Response. I said container, that is wrong. Anyways, exposure management and Wiz sensor runtime protection. So if you know about this tool, there are so many vacancies going to come very soon. Okay, it is reducing and also it is doing a lot of automation, machine learning capability to reduce. There are so many resources part of the SDLC lifecycle along with cloud infrastructure. It will reduce our developers. It will reduce our testers. It will reduce our security people. It will reduce even DevSecOps people. It will reduce even other stakeholders also. If we are using one single console, otherwise, for this one we have separate team. For SBOM also separate team. Vulnerability management separate team. Okay, so this one, if you are comparing this one with our Azure, we can call it as CNAPP, Cloud Native Application Protection Platform, but it is not doing all the functionalities. It is doing only 3. So that one we can call it as DevSecOps, CWPP, CSPM, along with CIEM, Cloud Entitlement, Cloud Infrastructure Entitlement Management. Okay. There are so many missing factors for Azure side and also even Amazon side also. First of all, Amazon side, they don't have the solution. Even it is comparing with our Azure. Okay. Going forward, even our Amazon and also Azure has to depending on this multi-cloud and cloud environment. Nothing but in between Azure and Google, they will do partnership. Okay. Finally, they will take the service. Other customer itself, they will take the service. That is also fine. For that one, they have to pay money. Okay. We are not sure whether Amazon going to implement competitor to Wiz, or maybe they will acquire to Wiz, or maybe any other third-party company similar to like Azure also. They are going to develop and they will enhance these features, or maybe they will develop one more product. Let's go and wait, and you can see whether it will give the competition to these Wiz services or not. There are so many companies are using this particular tool, and it is doing excellent functionality in the cloud environment. Okay. So that's all for today, guys. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to start cybersecurity. Only information security, GRC, and business impact analysis and risk assessment and business continuity planning and disaster recovery, governance, risk management framework, and compliances are pending. There are total 4 modules. Once cybersecurity is going to complete, thereafter I am going to discuss about GRC. Is it clear?
Sir, EDR investigations.
Yes, obviously that one. Yes, tool. Sorry, Sirisha.
Yes.
Actually, so here EDR we did not complete yet. Yes, I remember all those things. EDR we did not complete. Even we did not complete firewall demo also. Okay,
Yes.
those 2 things are missing part. Once this theoretical part is completed, then I will focus on all those practical demo tools.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Any
Thank
other queries? Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, then please from tomorrow onward, don't please skip any of the class. Each and every topic I'm going to explain for the cyber security SOC operation is very, very important. So people now, even though they do have the 4+ years of experience, 3+ years of experience, 5+ years of experience, 7+ years of experience, they are coming to me and they are working practically, by the way. They are working in the TCS, Infosys, so Microsoft and so on, so many companies, but they're not able to crack the interviews. Why they're not able to crack the interviews? Because they don't have the full-fledged capability how to answer. And also they are not sure about what the functionality of the L2 operations and L3 operations. Not only that one, because of the job roles and responsibilities, they are expecting about multi-security domains, roles and responsibility for single vacancy. That is one of the drawback for the right now. What is the skill set is lacking in the current candidates in the market. That is one of the factor. Second factor is implementation, little bit implementation level. Even though you are part of the L1 or L2 or L3, you should have the basic knowledge on the implementation. Because of these 2 factors, people are not able to crack the interviews. So even in India itself, maybe 50,000 cybersecurity analyst people are working all over India, for suppose. Do you think that all these 50,000 cybersecurity analysts who is working under the cybersecurity technology, out of 50,000 only I can say that 10,000 security people are excellent and they are working very well in the market. Remaining 40,000 people doesn't have the sufficient skill set. They are managing. That's it. That's the reason even now if you are going for any of the interview, they will ask this question also. Why cybersecurity people doesn't have the sufficient skill set? What is the reason behind this one? So you have to say about regular threat intelligence feeds or regular news. They are not able to get what's happening all over the worldwide. And also because of the implementation related skill set is missing. Third one. So they are not sure about multi security domain experience. So these are all the couple of answers you have to give. This is also one of the interview question. Okay. So that's all guys today, and we can continue tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. IST. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Good night.